Welcome back, everybody. This is Brothermutant here. Today we're going to continue on our journey with Eldritch, our main magus, and her ragtag team of casters. Now, go from our last episode, we just got done beating up on the Stag Lord. Everyone's here back in pace. Sadly, we still can't seem to get Jaith to join us, even though I've taken multiple trips in and out of the base just to grab stuff from the Stag Lord, sell some stuff off. We literally emptied everything that I could find from him. Went and also to get our spear, our +1 spear, from the undead guy at Nettles Crossing. Matter of fact, let's actually step outside just so you can see the map real quick here. See what we have left for us. Now, of course, we can still talk to Oleg and then immediately pay into our coronation party, which is what we're going to do today. But, you see, I picked my heavy lifters, so to speak, so that we could go outside and pick up one or two trips and be done. So, let's just step out and see what we have here. We have not hit everything in the area, is the reason I'm doing this part for you, so that you can see some things. There are hidden areas or areas that we have not unlocked, so to speak. There's another one over here somewhere. I know that there, if I go this spot, at least last time I walked that way, I found a old oak, I think is what it was called, and it was literally a troll fight, very tough troll fight. We can actually beat him. With the team that we have right now, but it's a major fight. It's not something that I would suggest you take on lightly. Of course, there's other areas that we haven't connected the roads, so to speak. Did my best for some of them. Some I just we'll come back to this area anyway. So there's some stuff that's certainly missing, stuff on the outskirts of the clouds, of course, that we will break away once we get into Chapter 2 proper. I think there's an area over here somewhere that we still have yet to explore. I know there's one over here, for instance, and there's a minor one. You can walk in and out. There's some that you can get some decent XP out of, which is why I bring it to your attention. Specifically, there's one, I forget the name of it, but it's over here somewhere. It's basically a wolf, a rat, were-rat fight, but that's inside a cave. So if you literally want some free XP, or easy, I should say, XP, go to that area. Go to the rat fort, or whatever the hell it's called, and go inside, don't go into the cave. Outside the cave, the whole area is peppered with traps. And so if you have a good trickery skill, so this is for those of you that want to get some XP quick for someone that specifically has trickery. My main character here, she's not the best at it. He, on the other hand, is pretty darn close to leveling up. Going through that area, I could literally, since I'm forcing the XP onto whoever does the skill check, in this case, the trickery check would be him. He would get all the XP. There's enough XP in that area to actually put him up and over the top to get him to level 5. Well, that's why I bring it to your guys' attention. So for those of you that are trying to solo some stuff, it's a way for you to get some more XP for your character. So, something to consider. We did pretty good for ourselves. Just a quick look at our characters here. We got level 4, 5, 4. He's level 2. These guys are going to be low because they're just brought on for strength capacity. Ragongar's 2, Harem's 2, so is Octavia's. She's level 2. We never really took her out to do anything. Amiri's level 3. And again, I'm not particularly worth it. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize they had stories built into them. The Unstoppable Warrior. Show what you're worth. Oh, I never knew that was a thing. We have a decent team right now. Jaithel's still missing, and Jaithel, against more likely than not, going to be level 1 once we bust her out of there. I logged online, found out that she's in our base. I see her, she won't really talk to us. Someone else has been having a similar issue where, if you don't have a party of 6, when you get break her out of the tomb, which is the first place you could break her out of, which is where we got Valerie, or if you break her out of the Sycamore, which is where we did break her out of, if you have a team of 5, she'll join you right away. Less than 6. A team of less than 6, she'll join you right away because you have an open slot. If you don't, then she just basically wanders about. Eventually, she shows up here at Oleg's, but she still doesn't seem to want to join you. So this is a glitch that's been in the game for a while. Supposedly, once we start Chapter 2, which is what we're about to do, she will join us at that point, and we can use her on our teams and such. So it's not going to be anything that impedes us, hopefully. If that's a problem, then we'll have to figure out who will be her replacement, which is a damn shame because I really wanted to have an Inquisitor to see what they can actually do. I know they look fun, And I just don't think we have enough money really to, or want to waste enough money to make another merc. So that's a problem. There is plenty of stuff, like I said, in this area still, and for those of you that don't know, your perception is actually, your team's perception, I should say, is actually used as you explore to find things. So if you walk by an area and you're wondering why it is, oh, I've walked by this a dozen times and I've never seen X. X shows up. Why is that? It's because you literally did not have a high enough perception, or it was not available at that level. I should say that, you know, chapters may, and I do not know this for certain, but the chapters may unlock new content in the same area. So feel free to walk through an area again after you level up, get a higher perception score, bring new characters with you. You'd be surprised at what you find that you missed the first couple times around. Some stuff that will definitely be overpowered by the time we get to them. But even in level 1, we can get to, like I said, that troll fight, which I want to say is like right over here. And even at the level that we're at right now, if I took my best team with me, we barely make that fight work. It can go south real fast. He's very strong. It's just one troll. This is how difficult this is. It's just one troll. And with me bumped up with my buffs and a whole team there, Valerie takes it on the chin like 2-3 hits and bam, she's down. This thing does ridiculous damage. It has a really good strength and therefore a really good attack bonus and a really good damage output. So you have to take it out with acid or fire, or I suppose I could take that back. You could take it out with anything that takes its abilities down to 0. So if you have poison, for instance, that takes a strength or a con or a dex down to 0, the target straight up dies. And that would work, I think, on a troll as well. But barring that, acid splash to the face, an alchemist's flask will work. You just have to make sure he's down, taking a knee. Before he gets back up, you need to hit him with something that's acid or fire to take him out official. There's some good stuff in there too. I want to say there's a light crossbow +1. There's a strength belt on the troll, which is why he's damn tough. It is a +2 belt, which is pretty decent, so you can put it on any of your mains. So that's not something that I would discourage you from picking up. Certainly you can sell stuff, but as someone pointed out in many forums ago, since you will be using these people, even if you're not using them, I'm not dismissing anyone from the party, they're just not going to be with my main party. So when we come to a quest where Valerie is important, she'll show up. So make sure they have reasonably decent equipment. So we don't want to sell off everything. We don't want them naked. We don't want them to have no weapons. We don't want to have them have subpar weapons. And you'll find that there's ways for us to level them up once we get to chapter 2, which will be a very nice addition too, because then we can have characters, for instance, that are level 2 right now can be matching us with our level 5 or level 6 characters. So that'll be a good way to bring them up to snuff, so to speak. From there, let's see. You would assume you just go this way, which is take you back to Restov, which is way the hell over yonder. But you can't technically do that. You need to literally go inside, which we're about to do. You go talk to Oleg and turn in your mission. Let's talk to everybody first, just to make sure that there's not somebody that's going to be like, oh, by the way, we beat blah, and they give us XP, give us money, who never knows. So we'll talk to anybody and everybody that looks like a possible chatterbox. Okay, we already got his stuff completed. And we don't want to ever do the leave I never want to see again, because then we miss out on some missions. And again, we can talk to our characters and such, and they tell us about themselves. And again, we want to make sure that we talk to everybody. Again, here's Jathel, but she has no need of our company right now. Here is Valerie. Oh, we got slapped down for being a woman. Valerie, that's okay. You gotta go with what you feel, honey. You gotta go with what you feel. We're just doing this because we want to unlock any potential quests that might come up later on. I want to make sure that we've talked to them about their past.
I'll go ahead.
Okay, going inside now. Oh yeah, here we go. We got Cressel.
Hi there, stranger.
I'm Irina, Svetlana's sister. I just arrived recently.
Irina, why the masquerade?
It's just... I want to start a new life. To forget everything from before. Even my old name.
I see you're settling in just fine.
I won't be here long. Just enough to help Svetlana with her work around the post. I owe her that much. Then I'll be on my way. Still haven't decided where to go, though.
What happened to the rest of the Stag Lord's gang?
Right after battle in the Stag Lord's fortress, Akiros just dissolved, like morning fog. I heard him mumble something about repaying old debts as he left. He's no fool. I'd guess he won't show his face in the Stolen Lands again. Too many people recognize him for being the Stag Lord's right hand. The remnants of the gang all scattered. I'd wager someone's already announced himself as the new Stag Lord and got a knife in the liver from some other wannabe heir.
Have to go. Alright. So, Cressel, Irene, whatever, is now back and doing good things. There we go. Svetlana, I greet you warmly. Good day to you. Do you need anything? I'd be happy to help. The Stag Lord has defeated Svetlana. Soon everything will change around here. Svetlana sighs. It seems like I've completely forgotten how to hope for the better. My heart already belongs to these wildlands. Perhaps in time they'll grow into a peaceful and prosperous country. Yeah, foreshadowing. How about you? Nah. Well, let's go talk to Lindsay first. Okay, and we will talk to Keston here in a moment. I'm going to talk to everyone on my team. The
Let's
main
head out.
characters, anyway. Okay, so we have talked to everybody on our team that I can think of, anyway. We got Tristan. We've talked to everybody, including Lindsay. So literally, the last two people then is Keston and Oleg outside. Let's talk to Keston first.
Fair enough. My father, don't imagine that I ask what's done is done. Well then, ask House Gares owns. It is an old, the same winter that as you wish.
Alright, just want to make sure that all those were taken care of in case there was something that we needed to say to him to let him know that we beat the Stag Lord. You never know. Now we have all our gear. We sold off some stuff, bought some things. So now we go to Oleg and say, the Stag Lord's gone. We found his fortress and sent the villain to oblivion. Yeah, XP. And good riddance. Maybe now we'll be able to actually live in the Stolen Lands rather than just surviving, like size. Without a doubt, more people will flock here now. It'll surely boost trade. But all the noise they'll bring with them, well, that's none of your concern. I bet you can't wait to return to Restov and report your great victory. So again, this is your opportunity to really say, oh, I got some stuff still to do. You can still come back to this area from what I understand and do some things. Just because I've done everything that I can think of in the area, more or less, doesn't mean there won't be stuff that's locked. So once we get out of here, this could be a problem. So if there is something that I'm missing and you want people to know about it, feel free to say something down below this description, and you guys tell us, you know, oh, don't forget to go do this, because once you get to chapter 2 and on, it'll be locked and you won't be able to go back there. That'll be good information for everybody, but I'm not going to pursue anything else further. Let's get to our coronation, shall we? So we say Restov awaits, plan to set off right away. Now, one of the things with this is we also have the ability to beat it within 30 days instead of the 90, I want to say, to beat the Stag Lord. If you beat it in under 30 days and get back to Restov in time, you get a special reward, which we did not get. We actually took our sweet time. So if you want to rush, you can do that and actually get yourself something for it.
I feel tired.
Good work. Nice to see I haven't lost my intuition for people. Not many would have managed to set out to the Stolen Lands and return with the Stag Lord's head. But I knew you could handle it.
We just got some XP.
Congratulations are in order. Today, you'll receive the title of Baroness before the High Society of Restov, and even Natala Sertova personally. God's bless her. Tomorrow, you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands if you wish, but this time as a ruler.
Damn Skippy.
But matters of state can wait. For now, enjoy this feast in your honor. All the city leaders are here. It's a great opportunity to make some useful connections. Speaking of connections, Let me introduce you to Kasil Eldori. He's my adopted son and apprentice. He's a trustworthy man. I'd like to send him with you as an envoy.
Seal, a young half-orc with impeccable poise, performs a textbook perfect bow. Jamadi, just what kind of game are you playing? I think I have a right to know.
Yes, you certainly have that right. But tell me, how well do you know Brevoy's history, or the current political atmosphere? It won't be an easy explanation.
What do I need to know about the history of Brevoy?
What's now called Brevoy was originally two different countries, Rostland and Isia. 200 years ago, they were stuck in constant squabbles. Then, Coral the Conqueror showed up, and united the two states into one. Such diplomatic tricks are easy to manage when you have dragons at your disposal.
Ooh, naughty.
The so-called noble houses of Brevoy, mainly Surtova, Orlovsky, and Lebeda, once ruled over Isia. We, the Eldori, ruled Rostland. The royal house Rogarvia, founded by Coral the Conqueror, forced us into obedience. But 200 years isn't long enough to make peace with such a troubled history. Even 2,000 years wouldn't be enough for us to accept Isian rule. Brevoy is a country held together by a thread, and that thread grows ever weaker.
What do I need to know about the current political atmosphere?
We, the Eldori and the great noble houses, spent 200 years under the rule of invaders, the royal house Rogarvia. We plotted, we schemed, we stabbed each other in the back, but open confrontation was out of the question. But a few years ago, House Rogarvia disappeared. No one knows how or why, but one day, their manors were just empty, and the force that held Brevoy together, that kept us from a bloody feud, ceased to be. Brevoy is currently ruled by the House Surtova, the former kings of Isia, but their power pales in comparison to that of House Rogarvia when they were here. So now Surtova and Eldori stand facing each other, staring each other in the eye, waiting for the other to draw their sword. It's an untenable situation. No one wants a civil war that would drown Brevoy in blood, but peace between us is also out of the question.
What role do I play in your plans?
Rostland wants to regain its independence, and we will regain it. The power the Isians hold over us is humiliating and costly, and the Surtovas won't give us our freedom without a fight. That is, unless there is some external power that can force everyone to sit down and talk. Do you see where this is going?
I am the hidden external power. Awesome.
The stolen lands are disputed territory. Brevoy can't appropriate them without raising protests from each of the neighboring states. However, if some brave people were to found independent states on that land, it would be another matter entirely. My hope is that you and your future neighbors, Baron Hannes Drelev and Captain Maegor Varn, will become our allies. But even your neutrality would introduce a powerful counterbalance to the aggression of the noble houses. Maybe, with your help, the inevitable division of Brevoy can occur without too much pain.
Don't the Swordlords have any other foreign allies capable of playing this role?
We hope to get some help from the Maivani Eldori, the descendants of the Swordlords who have fled from Coral's rage to build a new nation in the south. But the Isians know this well, and are doing everything they can to deny us this help. I won't go into details, but if my intelligence is correct, if a civil war starts in Brevoy, Maivan will be too occupied with its own inner troubles to interfere.
What part does Restov play in this game?
Restov is a free city, proud of its independence from everyone, including the Eldori Swordlords. But when it comes to Rostland's liberation, our goals align. This whole plan is our joint creation with Lord Mayor Yosef Selimius.
If Natala is already here, why did she let you grant me the title?
Actually, she could still intervene and disrupt the proceedings. But she's a Surtova. Their games are always complex and multi-layered. They're always looking for ways to turn defeat into victory. If she's decided to allow you to become a Baroness, it means she already has some idea of how she can turn it to her benefit. Let's consider how she could do so.
Okay.
Maybe she understands that Rostland will inevitably separate, and she doesn't want a war. In that case, new states in the Stolen Lands give the Issyans a reason to sit down and talk without losing face. But that's an optimistic view, and truth be told, it doesn't quite match up with what we've come to expect from the Sertovas. The more likely scenario is that Natala wants to win you over to her side. If war breaks out and at least one of you stabs us in the back, Rostland will be surrounded by enemies. That might be enough to bring about our downfall. But you would fall first, and your newly formed states would be left in ruin. The Issyans always like to have someone around to pull their chestnuts out of the fire for them. A piece of friendly advice? Don't do business with House Sertovas, no matter what promises they make you. Any deal with the noble houses is a deal with devils.
Interesting. What happens next?
How should I know? We're in the middle of a big game. And today, you move from being merely a piece on the board to being one of the players.
Thank you for the
I
explanation.
hope you have a better understanding of what's at stake.
So we say we want to know, do you already know about my encounter with Tartuccio?
Of course. Keston gave me a full report. You dealt with the scoundrel perfectly. It would be naive to think that none of your neighbors will try to stick their hands in your affairs. Especially that sly fox Iravetti.
Thank you. I'm going to speak with the guests.
Enjoy your evening. When you're ready for the official part, come to me.
Alright, now we'll break for the actual party itself. No, I don't know if there is a better way to do things. So, for instance, I could refuse having her envoy. Some people are going to suggest that we take them on as envoy. This pompous asshat right here for you, a fine example. Lander, a handsome, well-dressed young man of about 17 years old, looks at you with a polite smile. So you're the famous slayer of the Stag Lord's gang, soon to be a baroness. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Lander. Just Lander? No last name? No title? Well, let's just say I'm here incognito. Under my circumstances, it's wise to keep one's lineage to oneself. Truth be told, that's precisely what I wanted to speak with you about. You see, I'm an heir to one of Brevoy's noble houses. I won't say which, but believe me, a newly appointed baroness with no connections would do well to have a friend like me. I travel the country in secret, without servants, so I can see for myself. Not from a carriage window, but face to face with the people. My family would never approve, of course, but then, I never asked. I need to know Brevoy if I'm going to rule a part of it someday. I know Jamadi wants to impose her stepson on you as an emissary of Brevoy. Refuse. Take me instead. Don't look at my age. While they may have trained this half-orc to swing a sword, I've been trained to rule since I was a child. I'll be of far greater use to you, both now and in the future, after I have a firm position in my family. Are you from Restovic nobility? Oh no, I'm not from here. I'm just visiting, you could say. I wanted to see for myself the heroes who managed to conquer the frontier lands, and the Lord Mayor was kind enough to invite me to this wonderful party. Please, tell me again what you're doing here. I travel the country in secret without servants so I can see for myself. Yeah. I heard that before. Tell me what you want from me. Basically, he wants to be our envoy, which pass. We'll say I'll consider, but we won't pick him. Let's see, we have Amiri we can talk to, our team. Lindsay, they just basically say minor things. But anyone that's a named person, by and large, is someone you want to talk to. Mager Varnes, man, is obviously more comfortable on the battlefield than in the company of nobles. He's well built, but the expensive waistcoat he's wearing doesn't quite fit properly, as though it was borrowed. He has a few pale scars across his face, and his dark hair is drawn with an unkempt ponytail with a few streaks of gray running through it. He greets you with a broad smile and a firm handshake. Mager Varn says, "Let me introduce myself. I'm Mager Varn, the new ruler of Dunsword. Your neighbor to the east. Like you, I'm about to be a baron. Great job with the Stag Lord, by the way. Not ever could exterminate a whole gang of bandits with such a small team. How did you earn the title of baron?" Truth be told, my team and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Jamandi Eldori needed someone reliable to take and hold the territory. I'm the captain of a mercenary team, if that wasn't clear. Varling Host. Have you heard of us? No? No matter. Varling Host, huh? We've done work for Jamandi before. This time the task was simple. We just waltzed into the air, cleared it of the most brazen monsters, and built a small fort to hold the place. And for that, a barony and land to own. It was a dream job. How do you feel about being noble? Looking at his rich clothes, Varn smirks. Like a pheasant on a plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters, but this is the first time I've so strongly felt like turning away could get me eaten. He nods toward an arrogant man in the other corner of the room. See that lad? Baron Drelev? He's not like us. Who knows what generation of Baron he is? Didn't even shake my hand. You and me, we're like dirt beneath his boots. That's why those like us, the newly made nobility, need to stick together. Otherwise, he'd take my land and yours in the blink of an eye. That's a good point. It was nice meeting you. Farewell. Goodbye. Once you settle in, come pay us a visit. I will do so. Here's Jathel. They call this a feast. I'd show them some real facility if they'd let me. Yeah, we don't want to eat people, kid. Here's Tristan. Guess. We got Natala Sertova. Well, there we go. And Chandra Murphy. Let's talk to her first. Must be a servant or some such. Natala Sertova is discussing something with an unfamiliar old lady in a low voice. Upon noticing you, she breaks into a sugary sweet smile. You are not only tough, but quick. Well, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it while you can. Is this a threat? I would never. I simply wish to warn you, in case you don't fully realize the fate that awaits you in your barony. What do you think awaits me? Nothing good, I fear. The Eldori, our dearest friends, didn't deem it necessary to inform you of their plans, I assume? You see, they're preparing to separate from Brevoy. It will not be a peaceful process. Sounds like she already knows what's going on. They lack the strength currently, hence using this legal loophole to create some independent allies. Once the civil war breaks out, your land will be the first to endure a strike from Brevoy's forces. Perhaps they'll erect a memorial stone in independent Restov to honor you. Well, I wouldn't count on that, really. What would you propose? In your situation, the most reasonable course of action would be to align yourself with the lawful rulers of Brevoy. The noble houses, the Eldori, won't dare to rebel, knowing they will immediately become entrapped. You could help Brevoy avoid a civil war while simultaneously enjoying some well-deserved peace in your lands. I believe Jamandi has already attempted to impose a guard on you as an emissary. I'm guessing her low-born stepson, the green-skinned boy, Castle. It's up to you, of course, but I would recommend you a different envoy. Please meet Chandra Murphy, an experienced diplomat who is more familiar with Brevoy's politics than any brawler could be. That must be this lady right here. Yeah, Chandra Murphy. The old one standing next to Natala gives you a slight bow. I would be happy to help you establish diplomatic relations with Brevoy. I'll consider your proposal. Think on it. Do not make any hasty decisions. Yeah, piss off. I don't care.
The path is
I don't
clear.
like you guys. I don't like the way you talk about my friend with the green skin over here. That's racism. And I'm not abide by no racism. So first, let's go around the table. Guest Valerie. Yep. Yes. Okay, there's Harem.
Tread lightly.
We got Hannes Drelev. Man's gorgeous clothes hide rippling muscles beneath him. He looks past your ear, obviously bored. Charming. Baron Hannes Drelev, he says offhandedly, emphasizing the word Baron. And you must be the Stag Lord Butcher. I'm sorry, I quite forgot your name. But you took out the Stag Lord and his gang, and so Lord Jamandi is granting you permission to take his place, right? Well, congratulations. My lands lie to the west of yours. I suppose we're neighbors now. Yes, I defeated the Stag Lord. Pray tell, what did you do to deserve your new dominion? A smirk appears on the Baron's face. I don't need to deserve or prove anything. Countless generations of my glorious ancestors have done so for me. If I had a slightly bigger army, Sword Lord Jamandi would have simply given all the stolen lands to me. Alas, I don't have so many soldiers at my disposal, so she had to urgently make barons of the likes of you and Varn. So you have no army and no special merit, you were just given land for being pretty? Under other circumstances, I'd have you whipped for such words. But let's not ruin Lady Eldori's celebration. If you want so badly to measure merits, we can do so another time. You're not very polite for a nobleman. Ha, politeness must be deserved. Goodbye, sir. Not even dating to reply, Baron Drellov turns around and looks away. Yeah, pompous ass hat. Alright, well, we have Octavia and Ragunga. Zvanki Keeg. A handsome man with a weather-beaten face grasps her hand tightly in his rough, callous palms, and like the rest of the guests in their festive clothes, he wears a simple robe. The only luxury you see on him is a holy symbol of Aristil, made of solid gold. The others guests look at him with respect, some bordering on awe. Congratulations on your victory, he says in a deep voice. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Zvanki Keeg, High Priest of Aristil in Restov. Many people in Restov venerate Aristil. They revere many gods in Restov. They pray to Abadar, patron of cities, and Pharasma, gatherer of souls. There are also some more rare cults, but there is no denying that the stag god has the largest congregation here. And no wonder, people here have lived off farming and hunting for centuries. Your dress is surprisingly simple for such a festive occasion. The corners of the priest's mouth turn up in a faint smile. The nobles dress in silks and satins to stand out from the poor. The priest wears a simple robe to stand out from the nobles. Diplomacy 18, Lindsay. Ooh, let's use Lindsay to do it. Oh, that's good. Bringing you along to the Stonelands is a difficult endeavor. I would be grateful for any help you could spare. Succeeded. Go, Lindsay. This is a truly noble undertaking. I believe our community will be able to provide you with reasonable assistance. We will help you construct a shrine in your capital free of charge. It was an honor to meet you. Goodbye. I'll still keep you. Boom! That's the way we do that. Awesome sauce. Alright, so we have Joseph Slimius, Castle, and Jamandi. So, if we want to talk to her, then that will end these festivities here. Of course, these are just guards. Let's talk to Joseph. Joseph Slimius, an older man, Lord Mayor of Restov. And a full sideburns look at you with interest through a golden eyeglass. Well, now, if it isn't the hero of the festivities, the prodigy of our dear Jamandi. You pulled this all off quite cleverly. I confess I wasn't convinced your enterprise would succeed. I even bet a bottle of my best Bataxian wine against you, but I'm happy to admit I was wrong. The Eldori have always been adept at finding new talent. I don't believe we've been introduced. So it would seem. I am Joseph Slimius, Lord Mayor of Restov. I rule this town and the adjacent lands as your northern neighbor. I hope we can look forward to a long and fruitful relationship. So you rule Restov, and what about the Eldori? Ah, Brevoy's politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. Here in this part of Restland, the spirit of the Northern freedom still lives. We are loyal to the throne, of course. May the gods prolong the life of His Highness. But here, far from the dominions of the great houses, we can have our own way of life. It is especially important now after the certain events that I probably don't need to name. Basically, the disappearance of an entire freaking civilization, sounds like. The Eldori Swordlords used to rule Roslan. They're still the largest landowners and main military forces in the region. But it's not for nothing that Restov is called a free city. We're proud to choose the Lord Mayor from among the citizens, considered not by their lineage, but by their own merits. Ah, diplomatic. What kind of events were you talking about? Mayor Slimius gives you a patronizing smile. Why, an aspiring politician needs to be well informed. I'm talking, of course, about the disappearance of the ruling house of Garvia. Yeah, that's what I figured. Can you imagine it? Old man Coral conquered our land 2 centuries ago. It would be a shameless lie to say that nobody wished his royal house could just disappear into thin air. But once that exact thing happened, it turned out nobody was ready for it. Poof! All over the country, every member of the royal house disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows what happened. It is a mystery, but a mystery pregnant with opportunity for everyone. How are things in Restov? I don't want to boast, but things have been going well in recent years. Trade prospers, the population grows, and the citizens are happy. Although recently, especially after the disappearance of House Garvia, more and more troublemakers have been appearing, and people are talking about the most shocking things. But those sorts of rumors aren't worthy of your attention. It was nice meeting you. Goodbye. Please, wait a moment. Your young barony will need resources to establish itself, and from what I've been told, you're somewhat in need of financial assistance. I could organize and supply everything you need for the construction and spread out the costs on extremely favorable terms. I could immediately procure, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that would give you a good start. In exchange, I would ask a small favor. Until you repay the debt in full, You simply assume the obligation of contracting building services through Restov's Builders Guild. Do we have a deal? Ah, union. I love unions. Right on. I would be happy to accept your offer. Then it's a deal. I'll get everything in order right away and a schedule of delivery immediately. It was nice meeting you. Goodbye. The feeling is mutual, I assure you. I look forward to hearing more of your dazzling successes soon. Well, alright, buddy. Thank you. Basically, we just got some free building supplies. Literally building supplies. So for buildings that we're going to make for our town. So that will help us grow faster, sooner. Now, I don't know how all of this works. I haven't yet to really even get into Chapter 2 with any great depth. So this will all be new for me. So I won't bore you with those details. I will show you what we're building periodically, and I'll tell you who I've put in various positions, so to speak, for helping me. But we're not going to go through that as a tutorial. So for those of you that were hoping to find someone to explain to you how to build your cities and what different things to pick for quests for your cities, I'm not the guy for that. I probably mess it up, and hopefully I won't completely screw my base over. I'll pay attention to it as best I can, but this game is not real intuitive when it comes to the dates. So I really have to pay attention to, oh, it's 7 days from now, 14 days from now, 30 days from now, and I'm not real sure about each month. I'm assuming the months correspond to our months. So the first month of the year, even though it doesn't say January, month 1 would be January, and it would have the same number of days as our months, I'm assuming. So let's just assume that that's the way things go. From there, though, we have Jamani and Eldori and Castle Eldori to talk to. But this video has definitely gone on long enough. So with that, my name is Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll try to trim this up. I don't know how long it's going to be. There's quite a bit of chit-chat going on. Sorry for no fights, but I wanted you to get the feel for what we're going to get into here. And from this point on, the game blooms into a huge cluster pile of missions and such. Expansion, intrigue, all kinds of stuff that we want to do, stuff that we're going to sell, stuff that we're going to buy, and I'll show you that as we get into it as well. With that, I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.